Hey guys, what's going on? For those of you who don't know me, and for those of you who do, or whatever, I'm mostly on the internet. I go by the handle of Dark Calamity. I go to CARM, which is a Christian apologetics research. It's Christian apologetics research ministry. I think is the full name of it. Um, but it's a really good website, and I go to urbanphilosophy.net, which is where I mostly hang out at, which is it's a mix of atheists and theists and Christians like myself. A few of us we go there too. Um, Before I get into what I want to get into, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this, making these videos. About a year ago, I started getting into Christian apologetics, and before that, I didn't really know um, that Christians can still show love, um, but can still defend the faith. And I didn't even know that we were commanded by Scripture to defend the faith, which is awesome. And I didn't know apologetics was so interesting. I really enjoyed it here over the past year. But today I kind of wanted to talk about political correctness, specifically, and I know a lot of you are probably going to hate me for this, uh, in the area of gay marriage, homosexuality, this sort of deal going on. Um, I find it very interesting that the war cry of society today, most of them that are in favor of gay marriage and things like that, is equality. Even this whole Obama deal and the healthcare system, just equality. Uh, but I'm kind of at a loss here to understand exactly what's meant by that, because as far as I've seen, actually I think in almost every situation that I've seen where I've sort of engaged people in conversation that are in favor of gay rights, the equality that they're talking about seems to only want to fall on their side. They want equality for their position and for people of their position. Let me give you for instance. So if I say I think homosexuality is a sin, I think it's an abomination before the Lord, and I don't agree with the lifestyle, that's going to invoke a lot of knee-jerk reactions, right? Now, let's take it one step further. So let's say I find homosexuality disgusting. Um, I could say a whole bunch of things. Okay. So would equality demand then that I should have the right to say that or to think that? Which, I mean, I understand that most people, you know, want freedom of speech and all that. That's totally fine. But uh, it's crazy to me how Christians nowadays are sort of painted as this giant monster that's devouring people, right? We're the evil people. We're the evil people for saying that homosexuality is a sin. For saying that God exists, and that God is infinitely righteous and infinitely holy, and that the homosexual lifestyle is immoral, right? Um, I don't know. It drives me crazy a bit. And when I don't know if any of you have noticed, if you've turned on the television, um, watch what happens when if any politician or any sort of uh, actor or anything like that were to say something negative about homosexuality, how quick the media would be to tearing that person down. You kind of get what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It's just, I mean, maybe this is all in my head, but over the past few years, it seemed to get absolutely ridiculous. Um, Now, with that being said, I kind of want to explain something. We as Christians should be showing love, absolutely showing love. There was an incident that I was involved with not too long ago, involving a conversation with a couple people that were homosexual, um, and I kind of went a little too far with it, and it's been kind of a new thing for me to kind of figure out the balance of showing love but standing firm and standing your ground. And one thing that I came to the conclusion of, there were a couple of things that I came to the conclusion of, but one of them was that it wouldn't matter, I don't think. It wouldn't matter if I said homosexuality is disgusting to me, or if I said homosexuality is not only it's immoral, but it's immoral because God is the sovereign of the universe, and because God has laid his law down, and we ought to follow that law. It's kind of like, it kind of seems to me that it's never going to really be enough. And I understand that people on the opposite side, they disagree with that position, and they would like to change our minds, just as we Christians would like to change their minds. But I think I'm going to kind of call shenanigans here when it comes to the equality thing, to be honest with you. I think what's going on is, and I don't want to straw man anyone here, I'm just kind of making a blanket statement about how I've kind of experienced it. I think what's going on is that there's some people out there, there are a lot of people out there that don't want to be held accountable for their lifestyle, right? And I think that when someone mentions the fact that it might be a sin or that it might be immoral, it makes them uncomfortable. And in today's society seems to be all about consumption, pleasure, convenience. We don't want to hear these sorts of things. I can tell you, as a Christian living in today's society, it's hard for me to not fall into that trap. It's hard for me not to become stagnant and to do the right thing a lot of times. Which just as I was talking about how I handled that situation with those people, I should never have handled it like that. It was absolutely wrong of me to do that. But I think inside I was trying to test the waters. I was trying to see. I guess I was trying to understand what was meant by equality. Whether it was what I thought was being proposed, or whether it was something completely different. And while I probably shouldn't have gone as far as I did, I think I benefited a lot from it, just from kind of finally putting that to rest, to find out, at least for myself, that it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. We ought to show love, but it's not going to matter. Things are going to start getting really, really, really tough. I really think that. I honestly think that. I think that we as a society are heading down a slippery slope. So let me just first and foremost just lay my position out. I believe that God is real. That God, the biblical God, exists. That He sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to die for the sins of mankind. And that if you will have faith in Him and trust in Him, that you will be saved on Judgment Day from the righteous, holy God that does exist. And that God that does exist inspired Scripture. And Scripture says that homosexuality is an abomination. I am of the position that homosexuality is immoral for that fact. Because I believe that if I go to vote on that issue, I will vote no for gay marriage. I will vote no, absolutely not. Just because that's the position, that's the moral conviction that I have. Something very interesting. Before, a little while ago, when I was talking to some people like that held an opposing opinion, we would always come to the conclusion, at least most of the people that I talked to, that, well, You hold a different opinion than I do, and I hold a different opinion than you do, and that's fine. Um, but it's getting really odd now because some of the people that I've talked to here recently have actually gone as far to say you are bigoted for holding that opinion. You are immoral for holding that opinion, etc., etc. And it's kind of like a. You guys ever watch Star Wars? I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the first one where they're in the garbage chute and the walls closing in like this. It's like every once in a while in society, these changes seem to happen socially, and we're all within this garbage bin, right? And it's like the walls just keep closing in and in and in. The first one is you hold an opinion that's different than mine. That's okay. That's fine. The second one is you're immoral for holding that opinion. And then finally, when it closed down, it's you're not allowed to have that opinion. We're going to do everything that we can do to stop you from having that opinion. And I don't want to stereotype, a certain group of people or anything like that. I know there are a lot of people, especially a lot of gay people, that are very respectful. They're very, very kind. Very, very kind people. Urban Philosophy is a good example of this. The website that I'm at most of the time. The homosexuals that are on there, I mean, they're really, really seem to be really, really good people, and I can totally understand, why they're offended. I mean, Scripture's offensive. God's offensive. That's what this whole deal's about. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I just kind of wanted to make my first video. So I wanted to give a shout out to Noctero, LJ, Mitch, Johnson AV, Lauren, Zach, and everyone else at UP. Sorry if I forgot you. So God bless. See you later.